The Evercade VS retro game console, but this is basically the premium pack. I have this thing laying around for some time now, and I wanted to do this unsealing and unboxing together with you, my friends. Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So this video we are going to take a close look at this premium pack called the Evercade VS. So for the people who have no idea what this is, let's give a quick recap about this previous model or previous product. So, okay, crap. Let's do that again. So in the previous video we talked about the Evercade premium pack. This is like the handheld. Oh, also I'm making this video, there's already a new one announced. So basically there was this portable device that came with some cartridges. It was like a premium pack and cheap pack. Yeah, and basically what you're going to get is the game cartridges like back in the day. I think it's pretty damn cool. If you like collecting, I think this is an absolutely really cool way to go to. So basically what you're going to get are all kinds of games. For example, new released games for all systems like Xenocrisis. I personally really love the game. And this is cool that you can just play it on the go on your Evercade. So do we have like all kinds of different systems. And basically like system that they ported to this. Think about Atari Lynx, Namco collection, 8-bit, 16-bit, some arcade stuff. Absolutely crazy. The funny thing is when I'm making this video, they already like released new cartridges, so I'm not even up to date. So a lot of cool games out there, including for example the Clay Fighter is not one of the best fighting games, but a lot of fun. I have good fun memories about it. We have like Earthworm Jim, and yeah, it's a mix. It's a mix basically of all kinds of games. The cartridges, yeah, they all look very nice. They all look very similar to, let's say, your typical Game Boy cartridges, or kind of a Game Boy cartridge with a different kind of shape. And then we do have like, and metal comes with it. So this is like this authentic feeling what you're going to get when you're heading like the old school days. TV Distraction promotion with different cards. So that goes with a couple of games, so multi-game cards in a legit way that you can collect, complete and box. So again, if you're like a big fan of collecting stuff, I think this is pretty damn cool. So let's take a close look at the Evercade VS, because this is what we're going to talk about today. But let's take a close look at the Arcade VS. This is the premium pack, comes with a second controller, some extra games. Take consideration you also have like a cheaper pack that came with one controller and I think less games. But in the end, let's take a close look at it and let's do some unboxing and unsealing. So can I unseal this bloody thing without a scissor? Yes, I can. So I especially waited all this time for unsealing this because I wanted to do this on camera. I think that is like really cool to do it with you guys. So I must say that I was quite excited to see this thing, but I have some double feelings with it that we're going to talk about today. Ugh, plastic. So one of those features I think is pretty damn cool. We have a 4-player option. Think about the N64 or Sega Dreamcast. Like the box already says, over 260 games available over all kinds of cartridges. So it's absolutely crazy if you think about what we can play. So let's see what we're going to get in here. Let's unzip it and let's unseal it and let's unbox it. Alright, so let's see how we can remove the system. So the first impression is quite positive. This thing is quite heavy, but let's take a close look at it later. So let's see what we can find at the bottom part. So maybe you've noticed that like we do have like different colors. So what I think is pretty damn awesome. So here we have like the red versions, and the red version, I don't know if they're going to continue or this is not something like this is for the game system or this is for the handhelds. I understand this like an different series or something like that. I don't know what they're going with this and if they're going to get more multiple colors. But I personally really like the blue one, or this purple bluish color. Again, like a completely new collection, Data East Arcade. So I'm very excited to get some more arcade games on the system. Let's take a close look at the cartridge number 2. And here we do have like some familiar ones for me, like Double Dragon. Like a lot of interesting collections, but so here you can see we do have like Double Dragon 2, Double Dragon 3, but I don't see Double Dragon 1, so it's kind of weird in my opinion, but it doesn't matter and doesn't spoil the fun. Alright, so let's do this an unboxing of these separately, and let's also play some games today, and let's test out some old cartridges. What's inside in here? Here we're going to get, of course, the other parts and other things that we're going to need. Oh, alright, so the first thing we're going to do is smell the metal. Wait. I love the smell of new stuff. So it comes with a basic explanation, but nothing really interesting. So we do come with 2 controllers, and I don't know if it's going to be very easy to find these controllers in the future. But the controllers are kind of an, let's say, mix for me. Like, when you're looking at the shape, they are quite big, so I think for everybody can play with these. We do have like all kind of function keys. We do have like 4 shoulder buttons and of course 4 front facing buttons. So I don't know what they're going to release, but let's say if they want to release on PlayStation 1 for example, and yeah, they will have the option and all the buttons. So the D-pad itself is more like the floating D-pad. Sounds kind of cheap, so I'm curious like how it is going to play. Select start and then a button in the middle. But the touch of the button is very nice, like the original handheld. But that's basically what we're going to get. I really like the style. Maybe in the future I will pick up some action controller because I wanted to play some 4-player games on this thing. Another thing what we're going to get are the micro USB for the power, but there's no power supply whatsoever. And there is no HDMI cable. No, nothing at all. Another thing I really like about the controller itself, it comes with an extremely long cable. Do you know what I'm curious about? If they're going to release, let's say, wireless controls in the future. Let's take a close look at the system. The design itself, I think it's more like a personal taste. I personally like it. It's very stylish. But the thing that I like the most is that we do have like a dual setup cartridge. I personally never seen this before, and that makes this thing very unique. So I don't know what's about with this valve or this cover. I'll say that I'm quite afraid that we're going to break something off. So it's not like say very flimsy plastic, but if you accidentally drop it and it falls on the wrong place, it will definitely break. But they should like make something like an like old school Super NES Mega Drive where you can just stick him in at the top. But beside that, I really like it. We do have the on and off switch over here. At the front, 4 USB ports. At the bottom, we do get these nice rubbery feet. And at the back, we're just going to get an HDMI. We're going to get ourselves a button over here, and then the input micro USB for power. I'm guessing it's around 5 volts. But let's give myself like the weight scale because I wanted to show you how heavy this thing is, because it's heavy. Alright, let's put it on the weight scale. So this thing weighs 471 grams, and I can say like that is quite heavy for a tiny retro beast. But first, I wanted to check out and unseal the cartridges. Already did unsealing, sorry guys. But so the first cartridge I got is the one with the Double Dragon game. So let's unbox this one. Is this? Do I get the feeling the manuals are getting smaller? Let's take it. No, okay, no, there's something that was just in my mind. So let's take a close look in here. What are we going to get? And the first thing, and this is the most important thing, smell the paper. Ah, yes, I love it. Smell of new stuff. Alright, so the Double Dragon 3 is over here. And like the old school style, we go and get very nice screenshots. Alright. An explanation of every single game. Minky Monkey. I personally never seen this game before, so also going to be an adventure of rediscovering new games. That's another thing I really like about it. Okay, so let's take a close look at game number 2. Let's see what we're going to get in this. No, I'm not going to smell it if you wonder. I've smelled enough now. Burger Time. Yeah, I can still remember. I played it on the NES. Bad Deuce. Same story. NES. Gate of Dooms. Okay, that's pretty damn cool. Here you can see it like the arcade cabinet at the left. Even with some, some information like year released, 1990. It's a beat 'em up. 1 to 2 player. But this thing has some 4-player configuration. I'm curious like what kind of games, because this is a 2-player game. That is a 2-player game. So most games will be 1 or mostly like 2 players. So don't know how we're going to do that in the future. Sly Spy is another wicked game. I can tell you that. I've played that on the Ed Games arcade machine, if I recall it correctly. So yeah, so a lot of cool games. I'm curious about this. So let's plug these bad boys in and let's see what we're going to get. Still very interesting that we have like 2 freaking cartridges that we can put in a machine. A machine from the future. Alright, so let's plug in the bad boy. See, this is what I mean. Okay, so click mechanism to stay it open, but this feels so cheap. Let's plug in the cartridges. Oh, that goes in very sturdy. Next thing we need to do is power on and hold it for, I think it was 1.5 seconds. And here you can see the front part lights up. Alright, so that's everything seems to be working. We're going to get ourselves the intro screen of the Evercade Versus, or VS. Alright, so let's set it up. The first thing we need to do, choose the language. Let's choose English. Welcome to VS. Okay, we do have the option to set up the Wi-Fi. I'm going to skip it because I don't have Wi-Fi connectivity over here. So let's just press the skip. Connecting your Evercade VS to the internet makes it easy to keep every day up to date. Yeah, I know, but I still want to skip. Ooh. And you need to agree to the Blaze Entertainment Limited and user license agreement. But okay, so let's take a close look at the menu itself. So there was one interesting particular thing that I really like about it. So the first thing is like it's very easy going, which you can see over here. You can just basically show your game and just click on it and just play if you want to. Here you have like the option to last save point. So with some explanation, so they did just an amazing job over here. Another feature I like, when I'm removing one cartridge, over here you can see 18 games. When you're going to remove it, it shows 8 games. So basically you don't need to mess around with it, like saying, oh, I need to go to the other part or another like multi-game card, mess around with it. Nope, it's super easy to switch games. Basically add your cartridge. It will update your game list. And that's it. That's pretty damn easy. But let's take a close look at the settings. At the left we do have the option to go to the settings, and that we're going to do. Because I want to show you what is even optional with this device. Another thing I really like about this device is just the settings, just things that you can change out. So let's talk about that first before going to play some games. So we have like the aspect ratio, something that you don't see often with a lot of systems. We have original ratio, pixel perfect and full screen. With the shaders and scan lines we can just put it on none. We do have like scan lines that are very subtle, but also having it very strongly. The same goes for bezels, we can just put it off. Have like a black screen at the end, but you can just have the VS, Evercade, Origin, wireframe, and we can just change it out. And the same goes for scan lines. If you like scan lines, you can even turn that one on. So when you're looking at it. I like the way you can change things out. We can change out the theme. I really love the black theme, but we even have like light and versus. We can change out the music and the sound. We have the network that you can set up over here. So here we do have like a lot of options you can change out fairly easy. So you can see like mine's still on the old firmware, but just wanted to see what's out when how it was when it was just out there. We even have like the option for the secret code. Let me know in the comments, what is the secret code? Did I look it up? I'm going to do, but I want to hear from you. Did you found the secret code? A word for risk. Alright, so the first game I just wanted to try is some Double Dragon. I do notice like I see that there is quite a difference between audio levels. I found like say the main menu sound pretty damn loud. I'm getting my ass kicked by this game, like the first the first try. Okay, when pressing the tiny button in the middle of your controller, you do have the option to do a quick save, quick load, change out the controls and even mess around with the display settings. If you want to have like a full screen, we can go all the way like that. Oh, it looks awful, but okay. You can change it out if you want to. Let's go back to this freaking setting because, oh man, I cannot look at this anymore. Original. Yep, thank you. Okay, so let's take a close look at this game. I did play it on my Ad Games arcade machine. Pretty cool, you have some arcade games. The D-pad is very responsive, something I really like about this. Alright, so next up, let's choose a ninja with this game. I personally never played this game. Okay, so the only thing I can do is like shoot shurikens, that's it. Everything kills me in this freaking game. Yep, absolutely. Alright, a game I wanted to try from the cartridge is Darwin 4708. So let's see how this game actually plays. A shmup from 1986. 2-player. Oh! So basically this is a vertical game. I must say that I think there is no way of adding rotation to to this video game and the monitor itself, that option. Alright, so next up, let's remove both of the cartridges. I really like that you don't need to reset the system itself. Let's plug in the one with Xenocrisis. Alright, very good. Let's try Xenocrisis itself. Let's save. Then if I created a save file the last time on my handheld, I think not. No. Not at all. I love this game, but it is so absolutely crazy difficult. And I'm so crazy that I basically bought it on every single system. On the Mega Drive, on the Dreamcast. But this port to the Evercade is absolutely amazing. What I like about the controller, we do have like the A, B, X and Y that we can navigate. Or the way how we shoot. And with the D-pad we can just walk around. Alright guys, so that was the quick look and the unboxing of the Evercade VS. I wanted to do this video for so long, and I waited and absolutely waited too long because I personally really like what I'm having here. So when you're looking at the device, there are some pros and cons to it. That is something I want to talk about with you. Okay, so in general the system, the quality, I really like it. The only thing I didn't like is this cover, the way how they made it. I'm not a big fan of it, I'm just going to be honest. I think I mentioned it now a couple of times. The quality of the controller is good enough. And what do I mean with good enough? I think it's a very comfortable controller to play with. The D-pad plays very nice. And at first I was thinking, it feels a little bit cheap. But in overall, this thing has a lot of potential when it comes to controllers. Enough buttons for future games. What I said, maybe they port PlayStation games to it. That would be pretty damn cool. That will bring this thing absolutely to the next level. Alright, so let's talk about the games. I think there we're going to get, in my opinion, a little bit of a negative part. And the reason is very simple. Multi-game cards, the idea behind it is absolutely cool. That you can just plug it in and just play your games fairly easy. You pay a certain amount of money for a certain amount of games. And the problem is, there will always be games on the cartridge that you don't like. And that is my biggest problem with these multi-game cards. I think I can remember like back in the day you had the multi-naughty game card you can get for your Game Boy. I can still remember those times. But what you're going to get was like always a lot of games and a lot of stuff you didn't like. And that's the same thing with this. It's legit, it's official. I really like you can collect, let's say, certain kind of like collections. It's so much fun. But still, there are a lot of games I personally don't like at all. Double Dragon 2, it's a pretty good game, 3-2. But when you're looking at some other games, I'm more like, like I don't want it. And you're still paying for it. And that's a little bit downside to a multi-game card than having only one single game on the cartridge. But when you're looking at the arcade versus, it's absolutely cool addition. If you're a big collector of the Evercade in general, of the handhelds, I think this would be like a super cool thing to have. You can just play your games on the go, quick load and quick save them. And what I understand of, you can just make the same loads and just play them on a system like this. I think the idea behind it is pretty damn cool. I'm very curious what they're going to release in the future beside new handhelds. What kind of games can we expect? Are we going to stick with the 8-bit, 16-bit, arcade-bit stuff and all the other stuff? Or are we going to get some new generation games? Let me know in the comments what would you see, what is the game which you would like to have on your collection. Think about up to PlayStation 1. But I thank you for watching, consider subscribing, hit the little bell, become the biggest family, and it would be great to see you in the next video.